Alright guys, Tanchcrap here back again today. Hope you're enjoying your day so far, and as the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta continues, there's been a lot of discussion in the professional community about some of the things that should be changed. A lot of the discussion really has been around the sliding over the last couple of days, how broken it seems to be in the game right now, and Aches came out with an extensive list, basically an entire PowerPoint presentation on the things he would change. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has a lot of potential for the competitive side this season, or do we need some significant changes to make it playable and, well, to make it one of the best competitive years we have had? Because every time a Treyarch game comes out, we're hoping it's going to be like the best competitive Call of Duty ever made, but the last few Treyarch titles have had their issues. I mean, I thought Black Ops 3 was great, maybe Specialists. There also wasn't too many, like, LAN events in that game. Black Ops 4 had the stim shot and, well, which is kind of questionable, and 5v5 as well. So hopefully this time around, back to 4 versus 4 boots on the ground, but things certainly need fixing as, well, Aches and some other professionals will go into in the coming minutes here. Like, if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new. As always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. Really helps out the channel. And well, first of all, just to mention this, Cronut Celia Intel says, like, guys emoji, what's going on? Alex tweeted and deleted this, the snake emojis. So, you know, this could mean literally anything, but people are saying, like, does it mean he's got dropped off the London Royal Ravens? Rumored to be Zero, Shawnee, and Dylan CoD right now, but yeah, I imagine that's probably not the case unless we hear any more about this over the coming days. This is what was discussed then, this slide that we talked about yesterday. X is like, this is what I meant earlier. Slash is like, we just need to delete sliding. Everyone over the age of 21 is going to sign it. I enjoy playing Ghosts Modern Warfare 2 throwbacks more than any slide heavy game, and those games are way more enjoyable to watch compared to the constant chaos. And well, Mac Melts tweets this out, G-slide, showing some of this crazy movement that he does in a second. I'll just share a couple of clips on screen of, well, this movement here that we didn't look at yesterday, but a G-slide from Mac Melts, and then what Crimsix was playing at as well. And just keep in mind that the field of view does somewhat make it look like you're moving quicker than you actually are, but still, some of the stuff you'll see in this Crimsix clip, especially in a couple of seconds here, is pretty mind-blowing and probably not something we want in competitive play.
Now we're gonna flip. And that fool didn't even know what to do.
Garet comes out with the following: this is what I cannot figure out. Why am I punished for jump shotting, punished for drop shotting, but encouraged to slide when sliding is the most overpowered and broken mechanic of them all? I just do not get it. When it's used to purposely engage in a fight rather than just disengage, it is a problem IMO, which is kind of what it was in Ghost pretty much. Like, you just slid to get into cover rather than doing anything extravagant with it. And you know, it's kind of true, right? So jump shotting does kind of throw your aim over the place in this game, and drop shotting as well, you do that whole Black Ops 4-esque thing where when you lay down you have to put your hand down, so it's not as clean as it was in previous titles, let's just say, but sliding still seems to be there as it has been in the last few years, and well, in a very overpowered position, I suppose you could say. Ake says, stop complaining, everyone can do it. Yeah, that's the problem. 7 different teams won an event last year, 10 made a grand final, lowers the actual skill gap a lot. So saying that, well, the G-slide, not the G-slide, G-slide was in Black Ops 3, the slide cancel and the other movements in Modern Warfare enabled a lot of teams to be great, right? Which is maybe true to a degree. I don't really know. Like, probably most of the reason for this is the fact that we had only 8 teams at events, and we had a lot of events throughout the season, meaning that, okay, you've only got 8 players, you've only got 8 teams at each event, you've got a lot of events. Like, it pretty much makes sense that a lot of teams are going to make grand finals, and it was also pretty clear who the best teams were: Dallas, Atlanta, and then Chicago Huntsmen. So I don't think it's necessarily true that it was the slide cancel that was responsible for some of these, well, some of these tournament results we got, where Paris would make a grand final, Toronto winning events, New York winning events, all this kind of stuff, but maybe that certainly did contribute to it. So this is what X comes out with, a long list of his recommendations for the game, and let's just dive into it and see what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure this is a reasonable size to be on screen. What would X do? Disclaimer, I'm not a game developer, I have no experience and very limited understanding on how easy or even possible these changes are this late in development, but if it was possible, this is what I would do to make the game as competitive as possible for the 2021 season. Also, the reason it's worth discussing now is because in my experience, the longer a game goes on in development, the less likely big changes become. Also, I want to state I think this game has incredible potential, higher than we have seen in many years. The gunplay feels amazing, the color and vibrance of the maps are great, it's very fluid, the in-game options are intuitive and spot on, the gunsmith data is phenomenal, and it's Treyarch who always come through. These are not negative comments, just my opinion on what I think could improve the game, mostly at a competitive level, but also for the game in general. So let's start with revisiting and adjusting the slide mechanics. This is a big one for a lot of people right now. Slower, shorter, quicker loss of momentum, cooldown, forced to slide fully, not being able to cancel it with crouch or aiming. All of these are individual fixes, could just do multiple of them. We've had 2 years of overpowered sliding that was game breaking at the highest level. Don't want another year of it when the game's core is so good. He also would like a movement speed buff, increase base speed when walking, sprinting and crouching. Possible idea, leave current speed and add a lightweight perk into perk 2, then as the changes. As of right now, like, all the perk 2s are not really valuable, as he says right here. Additional change, buff the base strafing speed for assault and tactical rifles. The stocks that add strafing speed doesn't really improve it or do it justice. SMG strafe speed seems pretty good and is and should never equal or be faster than max assault rifle strafing. So he goes on to talk about the Duster stock, complete overhaul. This is the attachment that Crimsix was using in that clip, which enables you to slide faster. Not really sure why that would even be an attachment. Option A, eliminate the slide buff across all weapons or just remove it from the game. Option B, change it to allow you to drop shot normally, but still stand up very slow as is. In my opinion, this would be a great change and take focus off the sliding buff, which it obviously doesn't need at all. Allows people who favor the drop shotting playstyle to run this attachment to fit their style. So keep it, but just have it kind of change what it allows you to do. Keep snaking off the table with the same stand-up speed. Also, wouldn't be opposed to making the stand-up speed even slower when you have this attachment equipped as a safeguard against people snaking. Jump/drop shot combo back, please. So yeah, interesting, right? Because snaking has always been an issue when drop shotting has been easy, especially in Modern Warfare. We saw it a lot where people just go, they go prone, and they stand up again, go prone, stand up, etc. And it means you're a very hard target to hit, but you have a very easy line of sight over whatever you're strafing behind. That's Celium's favorite spot in that P5 on St. Petrograd behind the bar, right? And that is one good thing about it being awkward to stand up in these games, is that it kind of prevents snaking in that sense. And if you were to allow drop shotting, you'd kind of have to keep that in the game. So I thought this was an interesting fix potential from Mates in this one. Then he mentions Ninja perk changes. Buff Ninja a bit more. My ideas: completely silent when crouching, walking, L trigger strafing, slight noise when sprinting, sliding, jumping, falling. I like this idea. I'm almost always in favor of increasing the silence that is possible. Like if you put a perk on to make you silent, it should make you silent, or like almost all the time, in my opinion. This makes respawn way more competitive and requires much more in-game awareness rather than just like sound whoring people very easily and not really having to predict where they come from. Also, this is a huge benefit for search and destroy and makes clutches much more entertaining and doable. S&D community, please come back. The last few years has been rough. No downside with this change. I agree with this, right? The S&D community used to be so entertaining, especially like Black Ops 3 was like the golden era, to be honest, when Nick Merckx was streaming it and all that kind of stuff. And those kind of games, and into the off season when everyone started playing Ghosts, that was god tier. And in those games, dead silence was pretty much just a thing that was never an issue. You only really made noise when you were wall running, and I think that may have been a contributing factor to how successful the S&D community was over those games. Tacticals, grenades and throwables shorten the throwable distance for all throwables. I like when you can pre-nade stun smoke, but in my opinion it's just too far as of right now. Current distance feels very similar to the strong arm perk for COD Go, so apparently you can throw things really far. I guess I have experienced that when I did play the alpha. Haven't got a chance to hop on the beta yet though. Maybe consider buffing the time it takes for the throwable to be taken out and thrown as well. So that's pretty interesting. I saw a clip as well of someone like holding a throwable, like holding a stun in their hands and hip firing with the SMG and just having unbelievable accuracy. So maybe that's something that needs to be addressed as well. Trophy system field upgrade changes strictly for competitive. Option A, put the trophy system in the tactical category of your loadout. Like all previous CODs, after 2 blocks, they just disappear. So, change the cooldown to 2 minutes 30, equal with the jammer field upgrade. As of right now, from what it seems using the field upgrade options, all 4 players on a team would run a trophy. That's not a good thing unless you adjust the cooldown. So, very interesting discussion here. I won't read through the entire thing, but just an idea for competitive. Works in theory, but I don't know how it would play out in game, but it would add an element we've never had before. Usually player roles defined by who exactly run the trophy system. Pretty much every other field upgrade currently in the game, I assume, would be restricted for competitive play and or not used. So maybe the trophy will change. That's certainly a discussion that people have had in Modern Warfare, like how broken the trophy is and stuff like that. So now Eggs kind of thinks ahead in terms of this EMP grenades. This is kind of premature. These items could be in the full version of the game, I have no idea. here, the meta from Black Ops 2 will always be superior in CoD and have the most creative use of counter metagaming is very healthy for the game. Frags, yeah, all this kind of stuff, right? Because EMPs were pretty, well, they're very powerful in Black Ops 2, but you could use the hardwired perk to negate that if you wanted to. So, you know, there was a number of back and forths in Black Ops 2 that made it really cool as, well, maybe if EMP grenades do come to this game, he's saying that the hardwired perk should also be implemented. Score streak system, strictly for competitive. Return the option to use the normal score streak system. I think everyone in the competitive community is on the same page with this. It's rather self-explanatory. I know it's very important to keep as much as possible identical to the base game, but in competitive, all players would eventually get the streaks we use for competitive play in any given respawn modes. So, you know, the way it is right now, effectively, like, the more you grind, like, the more kills you get, you eventually just get the streaks. And, you know, I think we kind of do for competitive play just need a traditional progression system where if you get, like, 1,000 score, then you get your streak, rather than you needing, like, a 10 kill streak or, like, 10 3-kill streaks to get your streaks, kind of as it works right now. It's kind of awkward. And, well, that's like a participation trophy, as he says. Wildcard system revamp as well. This is also a bit premature, but currently in the game it seems so good. Your options are either between 8 attachments, 6 perks, or 2 grenades, 2 tacticals, so maybe change that to some degree. Jump shotting improvements as well. I can't put my finger on what is wrong with it, but your gun bounces too much when you jump and land. Your sight picture doesn't stay on straight and on target like it used to. You just sort of lose your target due to the animation, and the bullet reg just feels off. Not sure why it feels this way, but it doesn't feel good or beneficial to actually jump shots. And his final one is around the stim shot, which is in the game right now, as you saw in the Mac clip. Let's just pray this is restricted for obvious reasons. I was thinking of ways to balance it, and well, you just can't other than getting 1 to 2 per life. And I think it was also a thing in Modern Warfare where you can have the stim shots, but you know, it was restricted for competitive play. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Which of these ideas from X do you think is good? Which do you think should be implemented into the game? And what do you think about the long-term potential of Black Ops CoD? Well, I think it's got a lot of potential, but as you can see from these last few minutes here, there's certainly some things that we need to have changed, in my opinion, for this game to be a fantastic competitive title. And well, hopefully Treyarch are going to be listening to what X has to say on this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for making it this far. If you did enjoy it, greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the channel and helps the YouTube algorithm know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you next time.